welcome back to my channel, Miss Pretty Plants. Today I'm out in my backyard tackling one of the last projects this fall is to kind of revamp this flower bed, which is in the back, very back of my backyard. It's almost like a little ditch corner that became a catch-all for all kinds of plants, and it really started with these ditch lilies that somebody was giving away, and I didn't really know that these are not really good for, I mean, they'll just take over, and they're invasive here in Ontario. So if you can see, I have a big patch of ditch lilies. Not these are the peacock lilies that I planted this spring, but these lilies here, there's a bunch of them here which I planted last year, and I didn't know at that time that these were the best plants for the garden, so I kind of planted them here. And what I want to do is get them out of this garden, only because I don't want them to become a problem later on, where I'm pulling these out for years to come and they're spreading everywhere. So I think that's really the fear in me, that they are invasive, and I really don't want this area to take over with those lilies. I mean, they are pretty, they are very, very pretty, and I am not sure what I'm going to do with them at this moment, but for now I'm going to dig them out, and I don't think I'll be giving them away to anybody. Either I will dispose them, or I might plant them. I have a side section outside my backyard which is full of weeds, so maybe that might be a good spot for them to live there. I'm not really sure at this point, but my mind is to kind of get them out of this bed for now. And as this bed has taken shape, like I've been planting some shrubs in here this summer. I have planted I think this is a copper amber jubilee 9-bark here that I planted recently. I think it was sometime in the summer. Struggled a bit, but it's doing well now. And recently in my video I showed you that I planted these native 9-bark shrubs. So I planted 2 of these shrubs here, which I'm happy with, so I'm going to leave them here. And I also have a yellow twig dogwood in the back there, which I'm thinking of moving because I think it's too far back and it's really not visible from that distance. So I might move it into another location which gets part shade, and I can move the shrub out of here. And there are a bunch of small other perennials in here. There's some echinaceas, there is some other lilies, there is just, it's like a mismatch of perennials that I found and I stuck in this ground just to test to see what was going to stay and grow in this patch here. And I also have lilac over here as well. So this bed overall, I also planted a black lace elderberry in the middle over there, so that's there as well. So a lot of things struggled here, especially the shrubs. So I'm glad with whatever is sticking, and I'm hoping that these survive and come back next year. So I don't want to move too many of the shrubs around, other than removing that dogwood that is right there. So that's the dogwood that I'm going to take out. And I have a bunch of new plants that I bought. I'll put a link to the plant haul video that I posted recently about the plants that I bought. They are just some 9-barks that I bought. I bought a copper wine 9-bark which has got a nice burgundy purple foliage. So that is the one that I'm thinking of adding in this section, just to kind of add a pop of purple red foliage in here. And then there is also a lot of Solomon seal that's growing here, which I might move to a more shadier spot. I'm not really sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to work, and I'm going to start first removing these lilies and the dogwood out of here, and then I will know how much space I'm working with and how I want to reorganize this bed. So here I am out here today on this cloudy, partly sunny day, and I'm excited to tackle this bed and get the new shrubs in the ground and see how I can reconfigure this section for next year. just because now it's, since things are thriving in here, I want to make it a nice spot to look at and have purpose. And I also have some bulbs that I might put in here. I have some daffodil bulbs that I might put in here as well for next year. So just wanted to take you along this project that I'm undertaking and replanting this bed, and I will share with you how this progresses. I've been working really hard to get rid of these tiger, I guess they're called ditch lilies, but I kind of wanted to show you why not to plant these in your garden, because look at these roots. So it not only has tubers, but it creates these massive roots that I don't think I will fully be able to eliminate from this garden, and I have invited a problem in here forever. So I just wanted to discourage all of you from planting these ditch lilies in your garden. Look at this root. It's all the way going beyond my fence. So I'm going to try my best to eliminate it as much as I can. And I have also cleared them out as much as I can before I realized how big the root structure is of these lilies. And although they've only been in the ground for, this was its second season, it has already taken such a big hold on this garden bed. And I will have to constantly watch this bed, and I'm hoping that it doesn't escape this section. I will have to constantly remove them. I think next year I can expect to see some more pop up in here, and I will have to constantly do this task. So I just wanted to show this to you, the progress I've made so far. I have removed all of them from here, and I think there's one more here that I'm going to remove. And I also ended up removing some of these peacock lilies and plants because I had to dig to get the roots completely out of here. But I don't think I've had all the roots come out of here, so it is going to be a constant struggle. This is why they are considered invasive. They are extremely resilient and colonizing. So I'm just wanting to give you a heads up on what you can expect if you have these in your garden and you're planning to dig them out. I didn't have a fork that I should have used to get them out, but I don't think it would have mattered because those roots are massive. So I just wanted to show this to you today, and I will show you as I progress on this. The lilies are out for now, and this is what I'm thinking of doing to this area. So the willow that I bought, I showed you my plant haul in the other video, and I'll add a link in the description below. So this dappled willow, I'm thinking of putting it in around the spot where I took out the dogwood, just so that it adds a little bit of height and wispy foliage in the back. And I like the color and texture of it against this ginger wine 9 bark. So I'm going to almost place this ginger wine 9 bark more in the center of this bed, so that this beautiful burgundy foliage is kind of like more of a center stage, and then the other 9 barks will act as more of a hedge behind it, so that they can kind of add a layered look. That's what I'm going for in this bed. And I will also add the Kodiak Black Deer Villa just in the side over here, because this one gets about 3 to 4 feet tall, so I think it'll be a good accent. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of these perennials that I dug out as I was removing those ditch lilies. I will put them back in that spot, and I might add more bulbs. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put 2 of these Rocketman Russian sage somewhere in this bed around these plants, just so that it can add this blue-green foliage here and purple flowers all summer. So that's what I am planning to do in this bed. Initially I was going to put this willow somewhere else, but I think in this bed it would look really nice. It is going to add a good texture and height. And also I have a rose of Sharon in the back there. I think it's a proven winner's plant, so it's in the back there. I forget the name of the rose of Sharon, but it hasn't been doing really well this summer. But I'm hoping next year it is going to come back, and what it's going to do is it's going to fill in that little corner gap over there and get quite a bit taller than what it is right now. So I'm just going to let it grow in the back there, and what it's going to do is it's going to add these I think they have a pinkish purple flower, more white and pink flowers, so I think that will add a nice glow in the back there. So I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that these plant selections will work for this bed, and I will have to keep on, I think, digging those daylilies or ditch lilies out of this bed as and when they appear again in the spring. I think, I am pretty sure I will see some come back next year. So I will keep you posted, and I will keep removing them from this bed because I will slowly try to fill it with plants that I really want in this bed. So here it is, the progress this far, and I'm going to get these plants in the ground and I will show you what this bed looks like. Here it is. I wanted to show you that I have dug a decent sized hole for this willow, and I've placed it in the hole. The roots were a little bit pot bound, so I loosened them, as you can see, and I like how this looks here. So I'm going to fill up the hole and get this in the ground, and I'm really excited how this looks here. It's just looking very nice and wispy and stunning, and I can't wait for the foliage next year. It's going to, if you shear this plant down, it will flesh out these really nice pink new leaves that slowly age to the speckled white and then more green with a little bit of white on it. So it's a really pretty foliage plant, and I'm excited to put this here. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that these plants came with a 2-year warranty, so if there's anything that happens to this in the 2 years, I could replace this plant. So I'm excited. I will take care of this plant, but just it's good to have an assurance that you know, you could get another plant if something was to happen to this one. So there it is. I'm going to fill the hole in, and I'll show you when I'm here. It is. I've dug a hole for this copper vine 9 bark as well. There was a lot of root contention in here, and it took me a while to dig this hole. So I have managed to dig a hole that is quite a bit wider and deep, so that the roots have a chance to grab onto the soil. And I am not going to use any soil amendments. I'm going to use the native soil that's here, because 9 barks are pretty hardy and they should adapt to this local native soil and thrive. So that's the goal. The idea of putting plants in here is to kind of put hardy plants that will survive in the soil that's here and with all the root contention that's here. So I am going to fill this up with soil, and this one is going to be also planted in the ground. And then the next one that I'm going to plant is this Kodiak black deer villa. So after these shrubs are planted, I will place the other perennials around them. To put this this Kodiak black deer villa in that back flower bed that I am working on, there was a lot of roots there, and it's going to be very hard to dig in that spot where I wanted to put this one. So I decided not to put this plant there. I am going to add other perennials there, so, and bulbs. So I think I'm going to plant this in this side bed here. It does receive partial shade here, so, and this deer villa is very shade tolerant, so I think I'm going to try putting it in this spot. I am also moving the yellow twig dogwood in this spot, so I think it'll be a good contrast in foliage with this dogwood, and I will probably put it in some spot over here. And I've dug a hole for this dogwood because I uprooted it from the other bed, so I'm going to give this a new home here and a little friend here with it. So I think these two together will add a good basic shrubbery in this bed. And as I am working on this bed as well, this is pretty empty and still work in progress. So I think these two shrubs will be a good start for next year in this bed. So just wanted to show you a bit of a change in plan where I am planning to put this, and I'll show you when I'm all done planting this.